Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
So to try to do something a little different, I was thinking we play a game that I used to play when I was a kid.
Okay.
It's called 167 Questions.
That's a lot of questions and a really specific number.
I mean, I'm sure in the East Coast it was a different number, but, I grew up in the Midwest, so I want you to go first.
What am I supposed to do?
You ask 167 questions in sequence.
Oh, so just ask them? Just rapid fire the questions?
You don't have to say them quickly. You just have to say 167 questions without any repeats, and then I will answer 167 questions in the order you ask them.
But that's
it
not
challenges
possible.
Both of us.
Oh
How is it not possible?
Because I don't know what questions I'm going to ask, and how are you going to remember them?
It's called skill, Michelle. It's called dedication. It's called America. I don't know. That was the first thing that came into my head. I was like, let's play 167 questions. This is a shocking turn of events. I know I keep lifting the veil up. It's like I'm Penn and Teller. I'm just ruining magic.
Yeah.
But we record the shows in advance, and usually we record 2 episodes in one day, but today we're recording just one today because yesterday we only had time to record one as well.
Yeah.
So that means that we need to really do 167 questions in a row. No, we really, but that means that we're recording right now is going to be like 2 weeks from now. So I think we should do the show as if it's 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So I'll start.
Okay.
Woo, man. So glad that COVID-19 stuff's done. What a wild ride that was, Oh.
Yeah,
Remember when masks?
I mean, sure. Half of the world is gone now. The planet has a big hole in it, but it's fine, and at least we don't have to wear masks anymore. So.
Oh, that's. I didn't get a full night's sleep, and I think that part of that might be just me. I'm enjoying speaking wrong. I think it's very funny. Because we were texting. What time was it? We were texting 7 in the morning.
It was like 7:30 or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I don't know why, but nothing made me laugh harder than just steering whatever we were talking to hating not just Governor Cuomo of New York, but hating specifically the way he looks.
Yes.
Not in any specific way, just saying things like dumb fucking head and stuff like that. No, there were never details. It was just pure emotional ejaculation. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but it made me laugh so hard I woke the dogs up, and man, they are grouchy. It's so funny. When I first adopted a dog, she wanted to get up earlier than me. She was always waking me up. Mm-hmm. And boy, do they adjust. Because now, if I want to get up before 9, she just looks at me like, what is wrong with you? You have gone insane. I am laying back down. And then when I leave the room, she's like, well, I can't let you die alone. So then she follows me. So, but yeah, so, so 2 weeks into the future, yay.
Yay.
So if the Earth has been cut in half, is that because it's flat, or is it no, it's a sphere?
It is a sphere. It's always been a sphere, but there is a giant chunk missing out of it. It's just gone.
I was really surprised when the dinosaurs started coming out of that hole.
Well, I mean, that's where they have been. Where do you you really believed that they just went extinct? That giant creatures just stopped existing?
I know. I should have watched that YouTube video that someone I met once shared.
You should have. I know they took it down, but it was important. They were pictures of the actual dinosaurs under the ground, hanging out.
Well, that would explain why we only find their bones inside the dirt.
Exactly, because that's where they live. We're dumb.
But then there's the thing where the scientists are like, oh, well, dinosaurs evolved into birds, but there are no birds. So what are they talking about?
They just don't know. So they're like, what is the government made that people aren't sure if the government made it or not? So they're like, birds. Okay.
Well, you explain birds if they weren't made by the government.
They
That's what I thought. Yeah, look at that. Nothing beats talking over someone when they're stammering to make their point, to cause them to just stammer more. No, so there's a video called Plandemic, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, I've talked about a lot of things I wasn't ever going to talk about on the show, so I may as well just embrace it, right? I mean, I may as well.
I guess.
Because now that I almost never leave the house, I have nothing to talk about. I can't. A funny thing happened when I drove to the post office. There weren't as many people as are normally there, and then I drove home.
One day I could tell you about the time that I the one time during all this where I was like, I know what the zombie apocalypse is going to be like now.
The one time during all of this?
Yes, during the fucking pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic.
I love how crazy it's made you since I pointed out that some people, including myself, will smooth the edges of that, because that became a meme out here that it was in Ohio we all say all this shit going on is our go-to. So whenever I catch you smoothing it out, I point it out, and you always get pretty upset with yourself.
Yeah, I know. I should catch it earlier. I don't understand.
So you felt like you really saw what the zombie apocalypse would be like?
Yeah. I guess I didn't tell you that. I think I was meaning to. It's not that exciting, but what happened was, one of the supermarkets I work in closed one of the entrances. They have an entrance on one side of the building, there are two parking lots. So there's one totally different side of the building and then the other side. And where I work is in a vestibule, and it's in the vestibule that is closed. So it's really good because we have our own room. But we used to throw things out in the garbage can that's right outside the door. And we can't now because the door is locked. So when this first happened, there was this old chicken, really old chicken, sitting in the hot box thing. And I was like, oh, I got to throw it out. And I didn't want to throw it out in a little garbage can in the store. I wanted to throw it out in the big garbage can. So I thought, okay, well, I mean, the door's just unlocked. You just flip the thing and it unlocks it. So I'll just unlock the door real quick and I'll throw it out in that garbage can. I'll come back in. And this is the first or second day that those doors have been locked. So people are constantly coming up and staring at the doors, and there's 50 signs on the door. There's one giant sign and then 50 little signs that all say you can't come in this way. You got to go to Eagle Road. You got to go to Eagle Road. And everybody just stares and stares for a really long time. And sometimes we try to direct them, and I wrote a bunch of directions on a sign, but apparently it's too many words. So people just stare at it and then they ask me what I'm talking about. So I unlocked the door and I was like, I'm just going to open it slightly. Because I've worked in other supermarkets before. It's not that hard to push open, those kind of, self, opening, doors. So I push it open, and I have two employees with me. I push it open. I go out to throw out the chicken, and all of a sudden we just get rushed by customers trying to come in, and we're like, no, you can't come in this way. And like we're trying to close the doors and they don't want to close. and so like the one of my shoppers is like, oh, maybe I have to press this switch, and we're like trying to hold the horde of customers off.
Come on, do it now.
Yeah, so we got to close and we didn't let anyone in, but I'm pretty sure that's what the zombie apocalypse is like.
It sounds like the zombie apocalypse. There was a gag on Seinfeld that I loved because it reminded me of me. Mm-hmm. Where he was on a date with a woman, or maybe he'd been dating her for a little while. He had so many girlfriends on that show.
Yeah.
But there was the one where they would play the game where when they get to the apartment, it has to be that somebody's like coming after them, and you have to unlock the door like as fast as you can. So he's like, come on. Like, you gotta get your keys out. And he's like digging through his keys and trying to find the right key. It's like, come on, we gotta get in here. He's almost here. And then when they get to the other side, he's like, man, did you see how close he got? Man, his eyes looked insane. Like, what do we do? I've played games like that when I'm bored, where I'm like, I gotta unlock the door as fast as I can. And not in the games that I play just because of general anxiety disorder. Those are different.
Well, that's good.
Those are different games.
Those are not as fun, I assume.
No. Well, they're fun when you win.
You don't ever win.
You never win. That's the problem.
Yes.
But I do want to say, in regards to the Plandemic video, which I did not see because YouTube took it down.
Yeah.
All I need to know is it's a conspiracy video. Mm-hmm. And okay, because this is going to sound like I'm being closed-minded. If you're out there and you're highly skeptical of what you're being told, very likely bravo on you. You should be skeptical. We're being misled a lot. I don't think it's by, lizard people or corporate elites who want to take your spines or whatever it is that they've come up with now, because all conspiracies are the same. This is why I have a problem with them. Mm-hmm. They're all the same. It's never new. Whenever some new conspiracy comes about and somebody's like, oh, look, Plandemic, I'm like, does it involve the elites being their own thing? And they're like, yeah. And then I'm like, so are they illuminated? What? Yeah, they are. So they're lizard people. Well, okay, correction. It doesn't go straight to lizard people. It's they're elites, which goes to Illuminati, which goes to Jews, which goes to lizards. Mm. That is almost always how it goes. And a lot of people don't realize when they're talking about conspiracies that they're actually supporting something that leads eventually to like anti-Semitism. Mm-hmm. But they don't know because they haven't gotten that far in. And that's fine. I mean, it's whatever, because it's not legitimate anti-Semitism. It's not like, go to your synagogue and give them a piece of your mind. It's this murky concept of Jews. Yeah. Not literally like the Jewish family down the street, just Jews. Mm-hmm. It's what? What? But I will say, and I was talking to you briefly about this before we started recording, my big problem though is YouTube took down the video. You cannot help a conspiracy more than when you have one of the biggest international conglomerates in the world silence it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is how you make. I wonder if this is, we post all the episodes on YouTube. I wonder if this is going to get this episode taken down.
That's okay. Because
I said Plandemic and then I said like conspiracy and I said Jews like 80 times. But really, it's like you are galvanizing people when you do this stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you say we don't want people looking at this, it's against our community standards. That's the explanation, is it's against community standards. But their execution of community standards is like Twitter's execution of community standards. Mm-hmm. Everything is a conspiracy, or everything is made up, or everything is phony, or everything is a conspiracy of some sort until like CNN reports it, and then all of a sudden everyone's allowed to talk about it. Because they were banning people off of Twitter for suggesting that COVID-19 might have started in a laboratory.
That's interesting.
But they were banning people, and then CNN published an article saying maybe it's a thing.
Yeah, it's probably.
And now you're allowed to say it. I don't know. I have no opinion on it, to be frank. I mean, I think that the majority of the problems we're having involving coronavirus are probably tied to immense amounts of incompetence.
Mm-hmm. Well, sure.
In leadership the world over.
Yes, agreed.
So if it were made in a laboratory, I don't believe that it was released. I believe that it was exposed to people by accident due to said incompetence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ta-da.
Yeah.
So to me, it's no more shocking.
Yeah, and to be fair, it doesn't change anything because it still originated in basically the same place regardless, and it's still spread person to person, like whatever. Honestly.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It would raise China's. I guess it would raise at least a sense of their culpability.
You know, you gotta be careful because we were like funding a program that was running out of that lab about.
Of course we were.
Yeah, but like it was all about like cataloging viruses.
Of course,
in animals. So like, I wouldn't even blame China. I'm sorry. Like,
but what my point is just that of course, like we'll never really know because if it even in the public eye suggests culpability toward China, China has made it very clear that they have no interest in sharing what is actually going on in their country involving the illness. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
I have no desire to say like, and China did all, I mean, China is just as idiotic. I mean, well, no, that's not true. They're way more evil as a totalitarian government than most other leadership.
Sure,
but
just
all China, but all China has done through this entire thing is be China. Take that for what it's worth. All they've done is be China through the whole thing. So, you know, I mean, I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying, like, are you surprised? I mean, I was honestly more surprised that I had gotten used to the way China was to the point where I just kind of forgot that they're a totalitarian state that controls the media and their own media, I mean, and hides. I don't want to become that guy. But you know, so there's all kinds of weird things. But I mean, and you know, so you've got incompetence and stupidity in China's government, incompetence and stupidity at the World Health Organization, incompetence and stupidity in Europe, incompetence and stupidity in the United States. I mean, there you go. Like the idea that the problem is our leadership fails us like 80 times a day. And we never really care. And now this is like in our face and we can notice it. Yeah. I love how being isolated in my home, I would love for someone to take a cut of like the way I talked 8 weeks ago, how it was all light and fuzzy. And now I sound like some kind of like angry radio host.
I mean, you could do that. You could at the end of this episode, you could do a cut from 8 weeks ago and then put it next to all of this stuff.
I don't want to know how I've changed. I don't want to.
Okay, so I think I should cut in here. To be fair, I don't think you have changed at all. I just think that you are saying more stuff. And we, you know, like in the past, we had just decided not to say stuff. But
well, let's be real. Stuff that could be at least construed as political.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not very comfortable talking about politics because I don't like politics.
Yeah.
I like to talk about things I like.
Yeah.
You know, well, you're like, yeah, as you're the person I complain about politics to all the time. But that's different. That's our personal friendship that you are legally obligated to participate in and cannot get out of. Because I have very good attorneys, so you have to be my friend. But no, so I'm just saying that I went the way from where I stand, our leadership fails us all the time. So, but now our lives are heavily affected. We have people are out of work. People are unable to in many places get the necessities they need. Or at least the necessities that they generally rely on. I mean, it's not the end of the world that you can't get beef in certain places, but, you know, especially the comfort becomes really important when you're just stuck at home wondering when you're going to go broke.
Yeah.
I speak from experience. So if you're going to be stuck at home unemployed, wondering how you're going to pay your bills, wondering if you're going to ever get through to unemployment and all that stuff, I do think that having access to some McDonald's can make a difference psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's a good coping mechanism, but I'm saying it's my coping mechanism, okay? That's what I'm really owning up to, okay? I'm a stress eater, okay? I need coping mechanisms during all of this crap.
Mm-hmm.
This pandemic.
I thought you were allowed to say it, and I just wasn't because I made that rule.
I'm trying to lead by example.
Okay.
So, but no, yeah, so it's tough. But yeah, leadership has failed us all the time. It's just now it's like right in our faces. So we're following it. We can see it going on. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, when may as well just talk about politics. It's kind of
that's what's going to happen.
It's basically my only point really was that it's like when you're someone like me who is not very political and dislikes the majority of leaders. When Obama got elected and conservative people were mad, some conservative people were mad about it. I was just like, yeah, I was mad before, I'm mad now. Yep. And then when Trump got elected and people were really, really, really mad, I was like, yep, don't like the leader. I don't at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I had already had 9 years of hating leaders before we got to, before we got to Trump, I had I don't want to count. I'd had 12 years because Bush and then Obama and then you get Trump. I'm just it's just normal for me to just be like, yep, this president sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal for me personally. So yeah. I did not ever want to talk about politics.
I'm sorry.
This is light though. We're not going I'm not going to talk about the election or anything. No thanks. No thanks. So, I just, sorry, we were going to say something, please.
I was just going to say the election. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't really matter right now anyway. So there.
That's how exasperated I am. I took a drink of water during a part where I should have been speaking. I'm falling apart over here, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It was bound to happen. I was bound to die someday. So why not today? So, but no, oh shit. I just knocked my earphones off.
Oh no.
That's fine. But anyway, let's get away from this a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, no, I've really said the things I wanted to say. I have I feel like I would be an incredible hypocrite. I really don't want to hear other people's politics. So why would I want to sit here and talk about them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said the things that I talked about the politics that I feel really are prudent, which were related directly to what we're all going through right now.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Okay. I'm good. But here's something positive. You and me, we got our sweet, sweet stimulus money.
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, you got yours I don't know, what was it, 3 or 4 days before I did?
I got it on May 2nd, and they said they mailed it on the 1st, so who knows what that means.
I got it on the 6th through direct deposit, and they told me I'd get it on the 6th.
That's nice. How come? I still don't know why they mailed me mine, but whatever. Well, it's over.
You had to catch it before they mailed it. That was the thing.
Oh,
you were early in the queue. You were early in the queue, so by the time you checked your status, it was we already have it ready to mail because you did get it faster than me.
Yeah, you're
even
right.
though I put direct deposit in. So, I was just checking the payment thing every day until it said you could enter your banking information. And then once I entered my banking information, 2 days later, it was you'll be paid on May 6th. So
that's what happened to me too. But then they were here, thanks for entering your banking information. You're gonna get a check. You gotta go to the bank. You gotta touch things you didn't want to touch again.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to the bank in 8 weeks.
Yeah, I keep having to go to the bank, and then I gotta touch things. I don't want to touch things.
I had to call my bank because they gave me my credit union issued me a debit card that expired 1 month from the day I got it.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, the way I realized it was when I was activating the card. It was like, now enter the expiration date, and I like paused and I was like, what? It's 0620, but the old card says 0520. So I tried calling my bank like through the number on the card. I'm a member of a credit union, and the local branch of my credit union, I'm like very familiar with everybody there. I've known them for years and years and years. And I bring my dogs in after they get groomed, and everybody plays with my dogs at that credit union. It's awesome. I love that place. But the problem is you can't like call. Well, you can if you have the numbers, call like the individuals at the credit union. I didn't have the numbers. Yeah. So I call like corporate, I hold for 40 minutes and then talk to a person who can't help me, says they'll switch me over, and I get hung up on. So I tell my mom, and my mom's like, oh, here's the phone number directly to like to Ruth, one of the people you know at the credit union. I was like, oh, cool. So I call her and I'm like, hey, Ruth, I have a question. She's like, let me guess. You got a debit card and it expires in a month or two. And I was like, yes. And she was like, okay. Good news is nothing weird's going on. I guess they're switching to those tap cards. Those cards that you like tap payments. So the majority of people who have cards at my bank, it doesn't affect them because their cards expire later. But mine happens to be the middle of the year, which is unusual. So they had to issue me a 1 month card to get me through until those cards are manufactured.
Okay. All right. Got it. That's super weird.
It is super weird. And she apologized because she was like, I'm going to guess this is going to be very annoying for all of your auto pay bills. And I was like, yes, it is. And she was like, sorry. And I was like, well, it is entirely and only your fault. No, but she's super nice. And, but I haven't been to the bank. I mean, it's not like the lobby's open. You actually you have to just put your money. I mean, at my bank, you actually just drop the money through the slot, the mail slot.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, because it's a small branch. There's no drive up or anything. It's just you just walk in and do your business. That sounds like you walk in and pee.
Yeah.
Walk in and do your business.
Yeah.
So. But that was an interesting experience, realizing that my card was going to expire 1 month from the day I registered it. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's fun. Sounds good, bro. So, you know, but at least that's more exciting than banking is much more exciting than politics. Let's be real. So
totally.
But excuse me. So what are you going to do with your stimulus money? Lies only.
Oh, I guess spend it then.
I love how that's your like far-fetched lie.
That like for a couple minutes there, I was gonna buy something for myself. I almost was almost going to buy myself a very nice anime watch.
I know.
But the anime watch got progressively more expensive and I just gave up. So I'm just going to throw it. It just lives in my bank account now. Well,
you are, I hate saying it this way, a habitual money saver. As I motion towards your nose. But you are, you save money. You're a money saver. You are. It's funny because I've been told I'm a good money saver and I don't feel like it at all because I run a small business. So it's always in and out. Money's always coming in and going out at the same time.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I'm recklessly spending like pretty much all the time. That's probably related to the anxiety disorder. But yeah, I always feel like I'm, spending it as soon as I get it. But if I don't, then things stagnate and that's much worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So So, but I will tell you, I spent my stimulus, and by spent my stimulus, I mean spent $200 of it, just keeping my credit cards at bay. And the rest is just sitting in the bank. Hopefully I won't need it for long.
I mean, that sounds like the real answer.
Yeah, I didn't have a funny answer. Well, your answer was too funny that I was like, only lie. And you were like, spend it. I lose. I can't beat that.
Sorry.
So it's okay. It's fine. I mean, unfortunately it's only half the cost of a baby tiger. So I couldn't get a baby tiger.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe there'll be another stimulus and then you could get a baby tiger. That seems totally irresponsible. Don't do that.
You are like boycotting Tiger King. You just won't watch it.
It's not that I won't watch it. It's just that like I don't care enough to like put that on as a priority right now. There's just not enough time for me to like invest in something that I have a really bad feeling that I'm not going to enjoy. Just based on memes and what I'm hearing, it sounds like something that I could be like, wow, I really don't like this. I am very like, and something that I will totally understand why people like it, but I will just be like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not really sure.
Well, Tiger King is one of those things that the more you think about it, the more you realize you shouldn't have loved it. I mean, it's trashy. That's what draws you in is not just that it's trashy, but that it's trashy. I'm trying to think of exactly how to put it. It's fascinating because it's a true story. Mm-hmm. And they took, as far as I can tell, they took very few liberties. Mm-hmm. So the idea that a true story could be this wackadoo is fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the thing that most people took from it that, blew their minds was that they saw invoices. They showed images during the documentary of invoices showing that baby tigers were purchased for like $2,000.
Right. Yes.
So they were like, what? I could have been buying a baby tiger this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and also it's fascinating that they show like all the people that own like reserves for large cats, and they're all really weird.
Well, yeah. I don't like,
but it's fascinating that they are so consistently weird.
I'm sorry. It's a really weird thing to have. Like, it doesn't, because it's not like it's an animal that it's like, okay, it's really big and strange, but at least it's friendly. No, it's just like, oh, it's really big and sometimes they kill people. Like, no, what are you doing?
Then why do you keep a miniature one in your home?
My miniature one probably doesn't kill people. Like, probably.
You don't know what she did before you adopted her.
I know some of what she did.
Well, the funny thing is, since you didn't watch Tiger King, and this is a very minor spoiler, but there's a woman in it who has it's not a show busy place. It's like, it's a reserve to protect these tigers. And at first you see her and they show her kind of what she shows the world, her front face. Well, then they show like how she is, and she's just as weird and just as like, it's super weird. It's like, what? Okay. So the thing that blew my mind about Tiger King, honestly, was there are many things in life that I don't do, but I sort of get it. Like, people like drinking alcohol, and I've never drank alcohol, but I sort of, you must like the way it makes you feel.
Right.
And I get that because like chemically it dulls your senses and stuff like that. It might make things easier. There's that thing. Like, people of high stress jobs often drink alcohol, stuff like that.
Right.
And people do hard drugs. And I'm like, well, drugs are effective. They make you feel a certain way. I get it. So many people in this documentary did things against their moral compass or ignored things that they shouldn't have simply because they had the opportunity to pet large cats.
Wow.
And that I simply do not get.
Well, they're soft.
But it's just like so many people were like, yeah, and this was happening. And then but literally more than one person goes like, and I got to pet cats that you just wouldn't believe. I mean, baby tigers, ligers, lions. And they're just describing this so excitedly. And I'm like, this is as white people stuff as it gets. I don't want to, if you told me like, hey, do you want to go to the mall? I'd be like, well, not right now. I wouldn't be like, sure. But but in general, if somebody's like, hey, you want to go to the mall? I'd be like, okay. And they'd be like, you want to get a soft pretzel? Like, yeah. And they'd be like, you want to pet a baby tiger? I'd be like, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
You don't just have the desire to pet small, large cats?
I don't have but these people have like a hunger for it, that they're willing to do things that others wouldn't for it.
Yeah.
And that weirds me out. I remember when I was done watching the second episode, I was like, why is this intoxicating? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
They even cover a guy named Doc. I think his name's Doc Atwood. Who provided animals for tons of movies, tigers and lions and stuff like that for tons of movies. And they show him and he's like an interesting guy and he's got this whole place of, where all these tigers are. And then they reveal that he's got like 5 wives. He's like a harem keeper.
So
it's like, I'm just saying that every person they reveal has like some unbelievable eccentricity.
Yeah.
That you're just not ready for.
Yeah.
And every one of them, the people who help them are like a little bit like a cult. And that's the other thing that's really weird. Like, they talk about like, the crazy guys who have their like kind of cults of people who work for them. But then the woman who's supposedly, who's supposed to be running a reserve, you find out she doesn't pay any of the people that work for her either.
Oh, geez.
They all are working for free, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird, but it seems like it's all predicated on the promise of being able to pet giant cats.
I think I think people just like to touch animals.
I mean, sure, but I don't like to pet animals that much. I mean, to like, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how it would be such a starter.
But it's like everybody has a different thing that they're like or that they're good at. Sometimes you just meet someone who just is like, wow, I just wish I could pet a tiger thing. And that's okay.
But okay, I'll give you that. But this many people?
Well, there's a lot of people who play golf, and I don't understand that either.
Golf is weird.
Golf is really weird. I mean, at least tigers are furry.
Yeah, and they could kill you, which makes them exciting.
Yeah. But golf, I mean, I assume that you could get killed playing golf.
I mean, if you do it right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot safer, I guess. But it's just really like boring. So I don't quite understand that either. So I assume that people can just like different things, I guess.
But do you think that people like playing golf, or do you think they really enjoy having a culturally appropriate situation where they can yell for?
Oh. I was about to say that I think they really like playing golf, but shouting things is fun.
Shouting things is awesome, but shouting things is so much better when it's appropriate.
Yeah, and you're just allowed to shout.
Yeah, because you can stand in the street yelling things, and believe me, I have, but it's not as thrilling as when you're supposed to yell things.
Yeah, so now I don't know.
There is a fascinating human element to just wanting to like yell or make huh sounds and stuff. Mm-hmm. My buddy George Robb often talks about how there's this fascinating thing when you play funk about how people playing the instruments who aren't even on microphones want to go huh and stuff like that. The vocal expression is so strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Do you have any weird vocal things?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you like? I don't know. Do you mean
it's totally likely you don't know. I'm just asking because you might know.
Well, I mean, not really. I don't think in the way that you mean. I do like make up songs and sing them all day to my cat and myself. So that's something, but that's not like a sound or, yeah, I don't know.
I found when I first started playing shows, the vocal, affectation that I like literally couldn't control, that was like completely, it wasn't, because some of the vocal affectations were me being like Little Richard or Mojo Nixon, or people who'd inspired me.
Yeah.
But the thing I would do, and I can't explain why, it just always felt like it was totally natural, is I would yell, like I would go like whoa or huh or whatever I would yell, but I would yell it away from the mic and end up landing to the mic to say it and then pulling away. And it made this weird, like, passing sound.
Cool.
But I don't think it was on purpose. I think it's just that, like, it was like I wanted to yell and then I would remember that I should let people hear it.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's weird. It's really weird. Almost as weird as this episode. Talk about, a interesting walk through the desert to find the Holy Land.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna, I'm trying not to be too hard on myself because about like planning things and stuff, because I am going a little insane.
I understand. You're doing a good job though. I'm not doing a good job, so.
Wait, how, if you're not doing a good job, what does that say about me doing the show with you?
I didn't necessarily mean doing the show, but I'm sure I'm not doing a good job there. But I just meant in general, trying to navigate my normal life parts. I don't feel good about this. Well,
to be honest, I think it would be weird if you did feel good about it.
But I want to feel good about it.
Well, lots of people want things. That doesn't mean they're so.
No.
Like lots of people, Michelle, lots of people want there to be a global conspiracy that suggests terrible things can't happen to them at random.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what? Sometimes life just fucks you up.
Yeah. I
did not mean to bring everything full circle. That was fucking weird.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so uncomfortable right now. Did I achieve enlightenment? What happened there? Like,
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.